Hi, I'm Raylene, and welcome to Khaleesi Clues. Today's video, I will be discussing Season 3, House of the Dragon, Episode 3, titled Rhaenyra Triumphant. Just a bit of review for the episode with some of the things that I really liked or didn't like. Please be aware that there may be spoilers if you are not familiar with the entire story that has been published in the books. So let's get started. Number 1. Daemon's opening standoff. Let me just start by saying how much I enjoyed Daemon in the opening scene. Seeing him so irritated about not being able to burn Ormond and the Hightower army right then and there was hilarious. Daemon is just standing there like he's spreading good cheer, and he's announcing so nonchalantly to Ormond that Rhaenyra is the new queen. His nephews have now fled King's Landing, and his allies are scattered. Good old Uncle Otto is now dead, along with the Hightower guard, and it would make Daemon ever so happy to give Hightower to Ulf the White. But hey, look on the bright side, Lord Ormond. The Queen has offered you and your army clemency, as long as you bend the knee and swear your allegiance. And just like that, with a brush of his hand, you could all return to Old Town and live your lives in peace. And then Ormond has the audacity to disrespect Daemon by referring to him as the rogue prince. Daemon's flippant attitude changes in an instant as he now slowly walks closer towards Lord Ormond, letting him know in a veiled threat that his days are numbered too, and only breaks eye contact to remind him of the 3 giant dragons perched behind him, poised and ready. Needless to say, Ormond has no choice and bends the knee in his pretty armor, swearing his loyalty and fealty to Rhaenyra. With that out of the way, Daemon asks for one last thing, and that is for Ormond to turn Daeron over to him with the assurance that he will be treated kindly as long as Ormond upholds his vows that he just pledged. And this is where a great scene goes bad. As Ormond gets the best of Daemon and hands him over a fake Daeron. I absolutely hated this part for the exact same reason that all the other content creators hated it. There is no way that Daemon should have been fooled so easily with Tessarion being present and the lack of reaction from that dragon as his supposed under duress rider is being taken away. That boy should have been required to call his dragon and both brought back to King's Landing where the dragon could be contained in the dragon pit. But in all reality, none of these sworn words or assurances on either side have any meaning to them. Soon after, Daemon presents fake Daeron to Rhaenyra. After refusing to speak, Rhaenyra orders him to be confined in a chamber. Daemon, being the supporting husband that he is, takes this moment to remind Rhaenyra not to get too attached to her little half-brother by telling her to remember that he is a contestant to the throne and, most importantly, she's going to have to kill him. That was pretty harsh, Daemon. But I think it was his way of telling Rhaenyra that she wouldn't be in this predicament if she had let him incinerate them all like he wanted. Later, she will find out that she's in even a bigger pickle when she gets the news that Lord Ormond's vows apparently mean absolutely nothing and has now taken Tumbleton and is using its people as hostages and as a human shield. Daemon is going to be so excited to hear this news because if learning that his nephew is a fake isn't enough reason to burn them all, surely this should do it. Number 2, fake Daeron. One thing I'm really looking forward to in the next episode is finding out what the true hair color is for Daeron. I've been speculating for quite a while that he would have red hair like his mother in the show. I had figured that it may have been a reason to send him away from King's Landing. I mean, Allison wouldn't want to take a chance for people to start pointing fingers in her direction, possibly start questioning his parentage, but most importantly, it shows how even a true-born Targaryen child can be born without the signature silver-white hair. Alicent wouldn't want people to start thinking that Rhaenyra's children really might not be bastards after all. And while I'm on this subject, I'm going to say it again, I'm still not convinced that Jace, Luke, and Joffrey are Harwin's children. I've spoke about this before in past videos, but I found possibly a clue that may be George R.R. Martin's way of stating who their father truly is. The clue may actually be how the boys died. Rhaenyra is Velaryon and is associated with the sea. And we even watched his sister Laena burnt remains being returned to the sea at her funeral. Rhaenyra is a Targaryen and is associated with the dragons and fire. Now, when Luke died, he was attacked by Vhagar while on his dragon, Arrax, and then we watched what remained of them fall into the sea. Then later, when Jace died, once again, he was shot down while on his dragon, Vermax, with both falling into the sea, where he died from the arrows. Both boys have succumbed to death in ways that tie in the symbolism of their parents' last names. That's either a very big coincidence or something that George R.R. Martin has done deliberately as a clue. Unfortunately, this is probably going to be one of those things that we will never know for sure, but in my opinion, I do believe that Jace, Luke, and Joffrey are the true-born children of Rhaenyra and Rhaenyra. The boys being born with the dark hair comes from their father's line, but because they were not born with the classic white hair, it gives the perfect opportunity to plant the seed of doubt in everyone's mind, create a conflict for the Targaryen family. It's all staged in a plan to tear down the House of the Dragon. One last thing. In my previous videos about Harwin, I had mentioned how I believe that he stole a dragon egg and then took off to Harrenhal. I have seen in the previews that Aemond and Alis are holding a dragon egg. I'm really hoping that this is the egg that ties in with Harwin's story. I'm not sure how else they would have a dragon egg there unless Aemond took one with him before he left King's Landing. I guess we will have to wait and see. Number 3, Mysaria the White Worm. Mysaria the White Worm is grating on my last nerve. She fancies that she can sniff a lie. Lady, take a big whiff because you are the lie. Only reason why she put her 2 cents in, cutting Corlys' opinion out of the question, is to butter up to Maester Orwell, all to gain him as an ally. She's just stepping into Larys Strong's position now that he is gone. Larys Strong didn't leave Otto Hightower there for Daemon. That was just part of the game. Larys left Otto there for Mysaria. This is all a game, and those two are working together to pull the strings and tear both sides apart. The goal is to eliminate the dragon riders, dragons, and as many key leaders that they possibly can, because when the real war comes, those are the ones that can give mankind a chance to fight against what is coming. Daemon knows Mysaria is no good and that he is losing Rhaenyra to her games. Number 4, Daemon and Alis. Daemon's troubled face when he hears the news about Aemond burning Harrenhal. He's worried about what may have happened to Alis. I didn't like how their parting conversation went down. I'm hoping now that she has encountered Aemond that she realizes that she may have misunderstood some of the visions she was given. The same could be said for Helaena, because I believe she mixed Aemond's fate up with Daemon's as she told him, You'll be dead. You were swallowed up in the God's Eye, and you were never seen again. Daemon's dream about having sex with his mother makes more sense now. I believe that, like most prophetic dreams, they are done with symbolism to be interpreted. I think those dreams were warning him about the danger of Aemond, who happens to look just like Daemon and has the mommy issues. That's the symbolism. I think Alice now understood very quickly that it is Aemond that is the danger in this war, which is why she brings him to his knees by causing his injury to bleed out, and he is now at her mercy. That way she can mother him and nurse him back to health, making him believe that he has an ally. And I guarantee you, with Daemon inquiring about Alice in front of Mysaria, she's going to spin that to Rhaenyra later, that he was having an affair while he was away. Just another way to drive them apart. Things are going to get interesting. Number 5, the rats. Rhaenyra almost steps on a rat as she leaves her meeting with Mysaria, Corlys, and Daemon. Those rats are a symbol of the doom that is coming, lurking in the shadows. Right after she is told how the rats have ate through a large store of their candles. The candles are a symbol of light, fire, warmth, and life. And the rats eating right through them is like them trying to snuff out all of that. The great other side is hard at work against R'hllor and all that is living. Mysaria talking to Rhaenyra about Alicent, instilling doubt in her mind about trusting her. I love Rhaenyra's line. Would I not be simple to think that in a house as big as this, that there were only one rat? She's looking at you, Mysaria. You're one of the rats plaguing this family. Number 6, Rhaenyra's period. Rhaenyra gets her period at the worst time. It reminded me of the time that her breasts started lactating during the small council meeting. And I know that there are multiple things that the writers may be going with this, such as leaving a blood trail after sitting the throne, similar to the blood trail that she left after leaving her father's room when she had gave birth to Joffrey. People can point and say that the throne rejected her, when in all reality, it's just part of being a woman. Then there will be some that see this as weakness instead of seeing it as something good like fertility. But one thing I was wondering, especially with the couple of scenes right before where Corlys is talking about his newfound heirs, and she had also mentioned about bringing Joffrey to King's Landing since he is now her heir. Then we also saw her looking at her empty bed and then decides to sleep with Daemon in his bed. It all made me think, maybe she is going to try to have another baby. Her getting her period being a reminder that she is not with child. I know it didn't show her and Daemon having sex, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. One of the things in the books describe Rhaenyra as being thick of waist, which may just be slander, but what if the show has her eventually getting pregnant again? What if she is pregnant during her final days? It's not written like that in the books, but it could be possible, I would think. Even if she isn't trying to get pregnant, if she did accidentally, she may not want people to know in order not to show herself being in a vulnerable state. In which case, it wouldn't have been recorded in the history and people have only thought that she was gaining weight. I don't know. It's a horrible thought, but it did cross my mind. Number 7, Sylvie the prostitute. Sly Sylvie appears while Rhaenyra is hearing the petitions. Notice how she lets Rhaenyra know that she worked with Mysaria in the campaign against Aegon, calling him the usurper, but fails to mention that she was Aemon's #1 girl for how many years? And yet, here she is, once again, working for Mysaria in her campaign to keep the pressure on Rhaenyra about the starving people. Pitting the rich against the poor, just another tactic to turn everyone against each other and create more stress and chaos. And the camera pans over to the squeaking rat sitting at the foot of the throne. Mysaria is behind all of this. Flash forward to the small council meeting, and Mysaria is bantering with Daemon as he very well knows what she is up to. Mysaria takes this moment to also get at Corlys with her remark about earning her position at the council table, that she was not born to it, which completely sets Corlys off, just as she intended, because it makes him think of his bastard sons that he once legitimized. I can guarantee you that once Mysaria finds out that it is Rhaena riding Sheepstealer, she is going to tell Rhaenyra that Daemon and Baela knew all along and they hid it from Rhaenyra in order to protect Rhaena. That Rhaena may have done it on purpose for being sent to the Vale. I seriously hate Mysaria. Then the final blow, Mysaria asks so innocently, "What would your father do?" And Rhaenyra, being the puppet that she is, comes up with a banquet. Where's the dear me guy when you need him? Number 8, Rhaenyra's hand. Okay, I had to add this in because I only noticed it as I was editing this video. Rhaenyra's hand during her sessions listening to the petitions, she was so stressed and was gripping the throne. Flash forward to the small council meeting. Look closely at her hand. It looks like small cuts to me. Please let me know what you all think. If her hand is cut, I'm afraid that the worm rot, is what I call it, will begin in her just like they did to King Viserys. It's something that I did not expect to see, and I didn't catch it the first time through. So, and I don't think I've heard anybody talk about it, but I don't listen to everybody's videos. But anyways, if you see it, let me know what you think, and I'll move on. Number 9, Daemon is on vacation to the Vale. Rhaenyra sends Daemon to the Vale to collect some coin from Lady Jane. He's going to collect some coin, all right. A great big dragon that goes by the name of Sheepstealer. I'm really excited to see if this ties in with that sneak preview image from the trailer of a person walking in a dark cave lit up by dragonfire. I commented on one of the trailer breakdown videos when it came out about how I was hoping that it is Daemon walking into the dragonfire, absolutely unafraid of being burned. They have already shown how Daemon was able to fly through Vhagar's flames without even a blister. I know not all Targaryens are immune to fire, but I believe Daemon is. Aegon definitely is not, because he was clearly burned by Vhagar's fire. Matter of fact, I think the reason why half of his body is not burned is because Rhaenys and possibly her dragon blocked the flames from Aegon. So, and Rhaenys walked away with no burns. So anyways, there's that. I just think it would be a great scene in the show of how powerful or special Daemon is, and it maybe will be an advantage that Aemond is not aware of. Number 10, Corlys meltdown. The Corlys meltdown scene, oh my gosh, I thought it was absolutely horrible to see him go all out Vaemon on Rhaenyra. And I'm so glad Daemon was not around because I really like Corlys and I want him to keep his head. But again, this has been festering in him since Mysaria poked him with a stick during the small council meeting. And it was such a sad scene, him screaming about Jace, Luke, and Joffrey being bastards. I hated to see it, and I hated that he reacted like that. But again, this is what the Great Other Side does. They turn everyone against each other, rip everyone apart in order to weaken them. There is strength in numbers, and the other side knows this. Number 11, fake Daeron's big reveal. So Alicent walks into the room where fake Daeron is being kept. His back is facing the door. As Alicent walks in, all she can see is the back of the boy, yet her face and mouth look shocked. It makes me think that maybe the true Daeron really does have red hair. We did see him in the previous episode with red hair, but some are speculating that his hair is dyed red as a disguise. And that very well may be, but I really hope his hair truly is red. It has to be the color of his hair that made her so shocked. It couldn't be his size or even his face, as she stated to Rhaenyra that she's only seen him maybe once. But if as a baby when he was born, maybe he had red hair, now that's something she would remember. Or even if as he grew, if his hair turned the same color as hers, that red hair, then seeing the white hair would definitely shock her. Well, that pretty much covers most of the stuff that I wanted to talk about for the episode. I have been out of town for the beginning of the season, and this was the first chance I've had to make any videos about the episodes. I can't believe the season is already going to be halfway over. It goes by so fast. Let me know what you all think and leave any questions you may have in the comments. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching.